Right now, it's your local forecast on the Weather Channel. Currently in your area, 51 degrees under fair skies. The forecast for your area. Expect fair skies Saturday through Monday with temperatures in the 70s on Saturday.
Minutes before the top of the hour. Thanks for joining us here at the Weather Channel for Storm Watch and your Tropical Update, sponsored by GM Pontiac. Tropical season doesn't officially end until November 30th, and there's some features out there worthy of note. Here's John Hope with a look.
Well, there are some out there worthy of note, Marshall, but I don't see anything that's threatening, and that's the good news. We're right now approaching the middle of October, where sometimes we have a secondary maximum in the occurrence of hurricanes. But there's nothing out there right now that's likely to develop into one anytime soon at all. This is a front up here by Bermuda, extending from Cuba up toward Bermuda. That's not going to be a tropical system. A little low developed on here just south of Bermuda, but this is not a tropical system moving toward the northeast. And here's our system out here, 500 or 600 miles east of the Windward Islands, certainly not getting any better developed. And then off the coast of Africa, we have a pretty active wave for this time of the year, but we won't worry about that right now. Now, in the Gulf of Mexico, the weather is about as benign as it could possibly be. Ditto in the Northwest Caribbean and the Southwest Caribbean. This is the coast of Nicaragua. Here's Honduras, Costa Rica down to the south. We have a few showers there moving in toward land. No chance of any development there because it is all going to move inland before it could possibly develop. Now, farther out in the Atlantic, this tropical wave that we've been looking at for several days, we still see strong southwesterly winds over that. That's not permitting that to develop at all. As you look at the front here, this is Cuba, Bermuda's up in this area here. Maybe a little low developing right there, but it's not much of a low. It was windier on Bermuda earlier this morning, gusting to about 30 miles an hour. The wind has calmed down a bit since, but nothing to be of any concern about tropical development. Now, the dominant feature out in the Atlantic, the West Atlantic, is what we call the TUT, or that's the tropical upper tropospheric trough, wherein we have strong southwest winds to the south of that. All this dark color in here indicates a lot of sinking air, so there's no chance of any tropical development there. And as I indicated, off the coast of Africa, we have a little bit of a flare-up there, but that is very far away, very late in the season, nothing to worry about just yet anyway. That's the tropics for this time. Now back to Marshall.
Looks like we have a chance for a thunderstorm or two to develop in the plains today. We don't think it'll be widespread at all, but there could be an isolated severe cell or two as the energy from this system that's pulling out of the west begins to move eastward. Lightning reports now out toward the panhandle of Oklahoma and in West Texas associated with that front. So it looks like we are getting some kind of electrical impulses in the way of some lightning shots in those areas. You can see the rain developing in Oklahoma right now. Also some rain beginning to move into eastern Iowa. Details on all this coming up next. Bill Keneely, Kelly Cass, stay tuned for them. We'll give you an update on all of this situation in the West.
program was sponsored by Pontiac and your local Pontiac dealer. We're driving excitement. Your weather today, the best way to plan your day. Join Marshall Seese and Heather Tesh, weekday mornings from 7 to 9 Eastern on the Weather Channel. The Weather Channel is brought to you by this cable or satellite provider. You can also get reliable forecasts from the Weather Channel through this radio station.
Next week on Atmospheres, we'll hang 10 on the huge waves off the coast of Australia. Plus, weather can make it a wild ride in the Indy 500. And billionaire Steve Fawcett hopes to sail into the record books. Also, log on to weather.com/atmospheres to interact while you watch. Don't miss Atmospheres, a new hour-long magazine show hosted by meteorologists Jim Cantori and Mitch Michaels. Wednesdays at 8 on the Weather Channel. You've never seen weather like this before.
Right now, it's time for your local forecast on the Weather Channel. Currently in your area, 58 degrees under fair skies. The forecast for your area. Expect fair skies Sunday through Tuesday with temperatures in the 70s on Sunday.
It is sunny and warm over much of the eastern half of the country yet again today. New Orleans warming up under sunny skies. You ought to top out near 80, and temperatures in the northeast in the middle 70s.
And you can see the radar is clear over the east. There are showers, though, in the upper Midwest and across the plains. And we have some mountain snow in the Rockies and some showers in the Pacific Northwest.
Good morning again. Welcome to Weather Center. I'm Bill Keneely.
And I'm Kelly Katz. Thanks for joining us. While the east is sunny and warm, the Northwest has some snow at the higher elevations and a lot of rain, too.
And possibilities of a little rain in the Midwest.
Right now, we're looking at a live shot of Seattle where you can see the clouds, the low cloud deck there. We've had some rain, but it does look like the rain will be tapering off to some scattered showers during the afternoon, and that's certainly good news because we've got baseball going on later on this evening as the Mariners take on the New York Yankees. What's happening right now? Well, you can see we do have that onshore flow, some showers affecting the Pacific Northwest right now around Portland, Oregon, also getting some wet weather. We also have some wet weather and some snowy weather here across the northern Rockies, depending on your elevation, but in general, we have snow advisories in effect for elevations above 5,000 feet, where we could be looking at 6 to 8 inches of snow accumulation. There you see the radar as this rain pushes on shore, but you can see that we will be getting a little bit of a break. We are expecting this front to kind of die out. That's currently over the Pacific Ocean, but there's Seattle right now. We have a lot of clouds, a little bit of fog in place, and we do have some rain passing through Seattle right now. We also have rain east of Olympia along Interstate 5. We follow that rain down towards Portland, Oregon, and you can see we have more rain that's still working its way onshore around Astoria Philadelphia down towards Newport. Expect some rain showers, so have the umbrellas handy just in case. And here we have an upper level low that's spinning here. You can see that quite clearly with the satellite and radar here. And we do have some snow across the higher elevations. So the Tetons getting down into the northern Wasatch. These are the areas to watch for some snow accumulation. We could be looking at anywhere from 3 to 6, perhaps even up to 8 inches of snow by the time this is all done later on tonight. As we see from temperatures, it's certainly chilly enough for snowfall here. 38 degrees in Lander, 46 in Salt Lake City, 50 degrees in Las Vegas, 54 in L.A., 56 degrees in San Diego. Look for the sunshine right along the California coastline. We actually have an offshore wind, which is allowing those very little low clouds and fog this morning. And we do have the wet weather going on around Seattle and Portland, and there's the wet and snowy weather across the northern Rockies. There's your forecast for the game this evening. New York Yankees in Seattle to take on the Mariners. At 8:12, we are expecting the showers to pretty much be out of the area with temperatures in the upper 50s. Bill?
All right, Kelly, again, the Midwest, possibilities are there for a couple of storms later on today. Let's talk about what's going on. And you can see there's going to be the prospect of some moisture coming northbound as that low that Kelly's been talking about pulls out of the Rockies today, and as it does so, it'll start to draw some moisture. Clockwise flow around the high, starts to pull it up through Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas. I don't think it'll impact the big cities of Omaha and Kansas City. It should stay west of you guys, at least until tonight, but we have a little tongue of moisture coming up now. Dew points pushing 60 in places such as Russell, Kansas. That said, the storms may fire tonight, especially in Des Moines and KC, but more likely this afternoon in central areas of Nebraska, central and maybe eastern areas of Kansas, probably west of KC, however. So traveling on this Getaway Friday, take it easy, heading west out of Omaha on I-80 and west out of Kansas City on Interstate 70. Low pressure rippling along the front right now. Nothing really strong about it, but I do think in time we'll have enough moisture coming up along with the ability to lift that air ahead of that frontal zone for the possibility of showers. So be on your guard, especially tonight, even in the Minneapolis area. For now, though, again, the wild card is the dew point. The moisture at the surface is not readily available. We do have dew points a little higher in Kansas and west of Lincoln, Nebraska, but it is a borderline situation. That said, we have a lot of cloud cover out there. On a warm front, we actually have some rain going in Michigan today, east of Marquette, over there to east of Escanaba near the Straits of Mackinac, and Mackinac Island kind of wet for biking today. More rain down to about Mackinac City. More rain coming ashore, though, in the Traverse City area. 59 in Chicago, looking A-OK today in the Windy City on the way to 78 degrees. Could be pushing near record heat in some areas. 65 in Fargo in between. Watch for the rain, primarily late in the Missouri Valley. Kelly?
Well, after a cool morning, temperatures are warming up in the northeast under sunny skies. It's clear along the Charles River in Boston. You can see how nice things look from above. Expect a high temperature of 72 degrees with plenty of sunshine. So just a beautiful day in Beantown. And as we take a look at the surface map, we do have high pressure in control over the northeast. And we do have a little bit of rain showing up just to our west, basically across the Great Lakes. But this is going to stay away from us because that ridge of high pressure is very, very strong. You can see from the satellite, the visible satellite picture, we do have some clouds showing up here, perhaps some of this in the form of low clouds or fog, but that'll be burning off, and we are looking at some warmer temperatures once again as our high pressure continues to drift on to our southeast. We'll continue to see that warmer air flowing up around the backside of that high. So 7 degrees warmer in Burlington compared to this time yesterday. We're 4 degrees warmer in Buffalo, 8 degrees warmer in Cleveland, and about 6 degrees warmer in Detroit. And that puts your current temperature at 57. It's also 57 in Cleveland, 54 in Albany, 60 in New York City and Philadelphia, and currently 59 degrees in Boston. So enjoy a beautiful Friday out there. Take some lunch outside if you can. 74 degrees for the high temperature in the Big Apple, and we're going to be watching the showers starting to move across the Great Lakes. So Alpena, you could cloud up and see a shower perhaps later on. And as you can see from the forecast map through this evening and tomorrow morning, we're still in pretty good shape across the northeast. Bill?
And Kelly, right now the southeast in good shape. Lots of sunshine out there. It looks like it'll stay that way for the most part today. Watching some of the South Florida waters for the possibility of a few showers later on. But I think for the most part, the air has dried out. The difference here in Texas is the moisture coming around that high, pulling up a big canopy of cloud cover, primarily west of the Dallas area. But we had a report of thunder last hour in the city of Wink, Texas, out by the Pecos. As we tighten up our shot, it looks great. Charlotte, Atlanta, Montgomery, back to about Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Most air is a little warmer today, so few, if any, records today, but still some frost in some of the far suburban areas of Atlanta. The onshore flow, though, is still coming ashore in Florida. but the air has dried out significantly. The dew point down to 62 in Miami, so with that high in place, I think a decent day. Periodically a few clouds out there on the Gold Coast, but I don't think will generate any rainfall, and the radar, for now at least, bears that out. The numbers, mid-60s in Jacksonville, upper 50s at Little Rock, 63 in the Big D. Later on, watch west of Dallas, out, say, in the Big Country around Abilene, a high of 82 degrees, as moisture draws northbound with the heating in the daytime, so take it easy for the shower possibility, again, in Texas and Oklahoma. Now to check our forecast, here's Kelly.
And the forecast through this evening still looks great across the northeast and the southeast as our high pressure continues to dominate this region. But again, as Bill mentioned, we are seeing a lot of moisture riding up along our frontal boundary, and that will mean some scattered showers and perhaps a few strong thunderstorms across the upper Midwest and down through the south as well into Oklahoma and Texas. Tomorrow morning, still high pressure, keeping it just gorgeous for the tennis matches and golf plans you may have across the southeast. The northeast looks wonderful for fall foliage, and we're going to continue to watch this front pressing toward the east. Bill?
And Kelly, the drum roll, please. We have the winter outlook, the preliminary winter outlook issued by the National Weather Service now. And once again, the call is good if you have some travel plans late this fall and winter in Phoenix, Arizona. California, it looks like it'll bear out warmer than normal. But watching the Gulf Coast for warm weather as well as rain, unfortunately. And I know in some cases you really do need the rain, but once you get around Charlotte, up into Washington and Harrisburg, with cold enough air, may not necessarily fall in the liquid form. So compared to last 3 winters, we may very well see some more snowfall, courtesy of colder outbreaks, especially in the Great Lakes and the Northeast. And with those lows winding up, there could be some big snows, we hope, if you're a snow lover. In Boston and New York City, it's about time. Watch for the lake effect event, though, especially early in the winter. Cleveland, Buffalo, Erie, I'm talking to you guys. And it looks like more precipitation. And Kelly has said earlier, Charlotte east not needing it, but Atlanta and points west could use a lot of rain.
That's for sure. I guess it's time to tune up my skis, huh?
I guess so, although me on skis would be ugly.
Let's take a look. Not a pretty shot in Seattle. You do have a lot of low clouds, but we do expect your day to improve. Stay tuned for your weekend forecast.
Right now, it's time for your local forecast on the Weather Channel. Currently, the temperature is 65 degrees under fair skies. Your forecast. Expect fair skies Sunday through Tuesday with temperatures in the 70s on Sunday.
Pratt, Kansas area. So folks around Wichita and up towards Salina, what's that interstate? 135, I believe it is. Watch here the next few hours. A couple of storms going west of Oklahoma City as well. They may come east on 40 between, say, Clinton, Weatherford, and El Reno within the next hour or so. And also a few more rumbling at this hour in Lubbock, Texas. So here's the call for the interstates now on this Getaway Friday. Watching this area. Again, storms are now about 40 miles southwest of Oklahoma City. They're tracking generally off towards the northeast and also into Kansas, watching that Interstate 135 and west of there primarily. For Kansas City and for Omaha, I think it'll be later on in the daytime. In fact, early tonight seems like your best bet. There's your front now around North Platte. Later on today, it approaches Lincoln, Nebraska, heading out for a Big 12 football tomorrow. Hopefully things in better shape, but the system will slow down some. Dew points coming up, too. 50 dew point in Minneapolis, 54 dew point at Lincoln. There's that richer, juicier air in western areas of Kansas as well as Oklahoma. Again, the system is on the go now, so we are seeing clouds not really drawing any rain from the cloud cover yet in Iowa, but we're watching this area on the warm front in Michigan. We have bona fide rain falling here, over there along the top end of I-75 from the Sault Ste. Marie locks down to about St. Ignace, and then looks like kind of in a more isolated fashion around Mackinac City. A couple of showers coming shore from Traverse City to about the Boyne Highlands. These are tending to die out. Looks very good, though, in Chicago. 63 on the way to about 78 in the Windy City. Enjoy it today. A better chance of rain, I think, on Saturday for Chicago. Just to reiterate, though, watching late today, the entire I-35 corridor, Duluth and Minneapolis, Des Moines, KC, down to Wichita. Watching west of Wichita over the next few hours. Could be some locally heavy rain and maybe some isolated small